All right, Wednesday FOMC day. So going into the day, I didn't want to take anything AM. I could have possibly looked for something in the PM, but yeah, to show you what I was looking for. So going into the day, um, we basically flipped this whole thing bearish. We had this giant gap right here. So what I was expecting was, since we had all this chop, we kind of had a little bit of low resistance down here. Kind of expecting us to come down to, oh, this low down here. End up not doing that, but um, basically I want to see is like an SMT or just sweeping out this, changing the state, and then look for lower. Um, so I'll show this real quick. So off of morning, right? 9:30 opens, we already sweep this, right? And then we get this big displacement. We inverse all these gaps. We don't exactly get a change in the state, but we inverse everything in the leg. Um, just because there was no SMT, there was no change in the state. This wouldn't be something I would be risking heavy on necessarily, but um, there was a 2 minute gap right here, stops at this high, and then I would take it to like these lows, first PT, second, and then a runner all the way down here. Something like that. That's what I would look for. Um, honestly, not bad. Um, London lows also is right here. Hold on, where were they? Yeah, London lows are down here. So I was expecting London lows. There was nothing higher for us to really go to, but it was FOMC or pre-FOMC. So um didn't expect us to really sweep out any targets that would actually make sense because you don't really move like that. Um, so what we end up doing is we actually displace into the gap. And so after this, I'm still unsure where the draw is, but then there's this 30-minute gap that we come into. I was off at like 11 just because like I didn't want to be on the charts. I want to get on with my day. I was gonna trade FOMC after anyway, so there's no reason for me to get like 5 hours of screen time, you know? So, but this was kind of clean. So we came into the 30-minute gap. We got good displacement out of it. And after this displacement, yes, it's pre FOMC, but if it wasn't, we got displacement out of that 30-minute gap, right? ES did the same thing. We retraced down to this original change in the state, and we got this bullish reaction right here. So how I would play it is, half size, like 500 or something, stops down here, TP up there. And then after we inverse that leg right here, um, you can add. So your fill will be right here, and this would be the low you'd move it to. So now I would be in instead of like one contract, two contracts, and instead of my stop being um 41 points, it would instead be um mm, almost half. So I'll be risking probably 600, 700 now, and also double, um, double the sizing, and the risk rewards is increased too. So that's how I would play it here. Um, you tap back into that gap right here, and then you sweep out that high. After that high gets hit, you go break even, and then it goes to the target. That was honestly a pretty good trade. Um, and then, yeah, really nothing after that. What I was kind of waiting for was FOMC then, right? So FOMC comes out right here. We wick down, still in this 30-minute gap. Maybe it was like an hourly at this point. Yeah, there's an hourly gap down here. We wicked into that hourly gap and we got displacement up. 5 minute change in the state. We look good for longs. We respect this gap. We flip off that. Still waiting for 2:30, the press conference release because it's another red folder. Um, So 230, get good displacement out of that gap, and then we sweep out this internal high. And at this point, ES was stronger than Nasdaq, so switching over to the right side, my targets were, this internal high, but for higher time frame, if we're bullish, we're gonna go to these highs. So that was my main target for the day. Honestly, no, that wasn't. It was this. Those are the main highs. Uh, so yeah, we sweep out this internal high. So then after that, I would want to see, some sort of manipulation after that. Um, just because this chain or order block at least, it could hold us, but it's just a little bit risky just because that high was already taken. But we did end up respecting that order block right, right there. Respect that order block, take out we go back up higher, and then there's just no entries from there. We sweep out the high. We continue going higher, no really, retracements, flips, anything like that. So nothing to take there. And yeah, then we just start. It's already too late in the session to really take anything. All the targets been taking. It's already 3 o'clock or 3:15 that this move happened. So really not looking for anything else outside of that. But mm, let's see. So if I was gonna take this trade, if you had like mm, if you had like an we swept this high, right? Came back down, respected this 1 minute gap, right? Created like some sort of SMT right here. And then we got a change in the state. Then you take something like that, SMT low, take it to the high or something like that. That's what I would look for if you were gonna go long, but we didn't get that. And yeah, so again, no trades. Don't think that's a bad thing. Still following my rules. Still not entering on the change in the states or breaker blocks, all that crap. Just because I'm taking this week and possibly next week to just look at it, see if I'm confident in it actually. Um, since I've already used this model before and I know it works, there's no reason for me to backtest it because I already know the data with it, and so I'm just collecting data like real time now for this week and next week, see if it still works out, paper trading it, and yeah, but yeah, no flips and yeah, no entries for this model besides the one before uh at like 11:15 ish. But yeah, that's it.